McCoy.
Dead, Jim. He's dead.
He's dead, Doctor.
He's dead, Jim. He's dead. He's dead, Captain.
He'll die, Jim.
He's dead. He's dead, Jim. Dead. The man is dead. He's dead. He's dead.
He's dead, sir.
She's dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim.
That man's dead back there. She's dead. He's dead. Must be dead. He was worse than dead.
So we're going to take a look at another dead retail development in Vegas, but this one never came back. I'm on the corner of Spring Mountain Road and Rainbow. This is kind of technically where Chinatown ends. Chinatown is that way. All the nice houses, they're that way. Let's take a look at a dead plaza in Vegas that just never came back to life, no matter how good the economy has been. Action.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
Hey you out there, I appreciate you watching. My name is Steven and I'm not leaving Las Vegas, a Vegas video blogger that brings you an alternate look at the city. If you're moving here, you want to come here, or you're just into the Raiders, the Golden Knights, the soon-to-be possible MLS expansion team, click the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you know when I do more videos, and also leave us a comment and a like because it helps support little channels when YouTube sees people are interacting. So behind me here we have a very dead plaza. This has been dead since I moved here in 2004. There used to be a couple of little businesses, but it's not even on life support anymore. It's kind of shocking, so we're gonna flip over to the front-facing camera and take a look right now. So as I mentioned to you guys before, this area is actually very active. Tens of thousands of cars run here every single day. There's a giant Walmart supercenter across the street here, and as I said, Chinatown ends officially, I think, right about here. You can see the strip in the very distance if you take a look. And you have a Burger King and Korean Town Plaza. That's the only Korean town of all of Las Vegas. Now, this, as far as I understand it, and if you're a Las Vegas resident, you can let me know, this used to actually be a Kmart store. Now, we all know that Kmart is basically no more. If there's a Kmart near you, leave a comment below. You can see the old garden center right here. And we're just gonna go take a look. You can kind of tell the old fonts Kmart would use on these signages here. And I know some people that say that they remember a time when you can actually come through here. I'm not gonna break in or anything because I'm not a fan of getting arrested for trespassing. So we have an old garden center, a bunch of cinder blocks. The building looks old and distressed. And this plaza just never came back to life. There has to be something wrong with this place because the fact that it never did come back to life indicates that usually buildings have been condemned or there's something otherwise that prevents them from actually having any kind of usability. There was a Trader Joe's on the corner of Sahara and Decatur here in Vegas. Everybody loved that Trader Joe's, and then one day Trader Joe's closed up shop. It wasn't for lack of customers, it was because, as the manager described it, there was a terrible mold problem that nobody knew about. They could not lick the mold problem. Lick the mold, that's a terrible term. They couldn't fix the mold problem, so they just ended up having to close their doors because Trader Joe's doesn't do mold. That's probably a good thing. Here, what do we have here? What is this? Something on the ground. Oh. This is a pair of size 13 Nike Airs. Air Jordans. There's nothing in the box. But I should point out that behind me there's a DSW, Designer Shoe Warehouse. So let's assume that somebody got so excited with their Nike Airs that they had to come over to this parking lot, cast off their old shoes if they were even wearing them, which I don't see around here, and throw on their Nike Airs. And we have little businesses, hopes and dreams and things that have failed. You wonder if I played sad music during this video. There's a Krispy Kreme across us, so you get some of their trash here on the ground. Burnt out windows, blacked out windows, old storefronts. I don't know what this might have been. It's obviously very distressed. And you can see the roof and the ceiling is ripped out. I'm not an expert on dead malls by any means, but I have another video on this channel that focuses on the Boulevard Mall, which is a mall on life support, if not completely dying, in an area that's been so changed in the last 20, 30 years. What do we have in here? Yep. Little tiny storefronts. If you take a look at the carpeting, carpeting is severely dated. It goes back to the 80s or even the 90s. I have to watch out because I don't want to have to deal with a person that might be living in one of these things that gets mad at me, because that's also something that happens here. You can tell something serious with all these ripped out panels in the ceiling, possibly. This looks to be like an office of some sort. If you go into the back, it's pretty deep. And we had a quality cleaning and drapery service here. This was the Spring Fresh Cleaners. Laundry service and expert alterations. Bedspreads, drapes, leather, suedes, fluff and fold. You can kind of look. The fact that these are painted on, you really don't see painted on letterings anymore. It's just not the way it is. And you can imagine a cleaning business here, and they had machinery to do all of your dry cleaning business. I'm going to continue on and see if we can get any kind of other evidence as to what this stuff could have been. Well, somebody doesn't like Nazis because there's an anti-swastika sign here, if you can see it. And this one here, looking inside here. I can't say what any of these would have been. I don't know. There's really no Google Wayback Machine. If you guys aren't aware, you can go on Google, go to Street View. A lot of the times, click on the Street View and then click a little button that looks like a clock, and it'll show you what was there in the past. But Google wasn't indexing and taking photos of things in the past. Very small, old, burnt out offices. And it doesn't really say what they are, so we'll take a look at the front facade of the building too. No, this place here, probably the best looking one. It's funny that as we move forward here, the offices look more used, which I would presume means because they're closer to the main strip right here where all the cars are. And we had a hair shop right here. And everybody knows that when you put the E on the end, it becomes classier. It's European, it's hair shop A. Little hair shop. It almost looks like, wow, that's some old stuff. Look at the sinks in the back, very pink. The styling is very old. And somehow somebody has bored a hole through the wall. I wonder why that might be. Possibly they were trying to get from one side of the building to the other. This is the other side here. Looks like this might have been maybe a restaurant. Not really sure. Move around to the front. Take a look at the front. We have old neon in the windows. You don't see neon in Vegas anymore. Yep, I would imagine this was a restaurant. You can kind of tell by those little dividers in the center. You can envision having chairs and everything right around. And you see the ceiling is falling down here as well. So let's presume maybe there was water damage. Doesn't look like there was any kind of a fire around here. Although there's been problems with buildings bursting into flames lately because residential buildings have no fire protection here, the old ones. And, well, this is an obvious one. This was a Payless Shoe Source. Now the Payless Shoe Source opened on the other side of the street, way over there, on the other side where we started off on our journey. And we all know what happened to Payless. You can pay no more because Payless is no more. So this was a Payless Shoe Source right here, back in the day. Big retail front on the very front, which means I guess they would have had the most expensive rents. But this is, I guess, an anomaly in Las Vegas because for the most part, you don't have these problems. Everything in Vegas is coming back to life, but not here at the Rainbow Dune Center, where according to the sign we had Master Art Framing, a hair shop, Spring Fresh Cleaners, K&M Skateboards and more, a Chinese buffet and a florist at one point. The anchor tenant, I'm going to assume, would have been a Kmart. It has the stylings of a Kmart, but there is nothing left in the Rainbow Dune Center except for a Burger King in the parking lot. Has anybody eaten at Burger King lately? And so there you have it, retail burnout in Vegas. You don't get this a lot anymore. especially considering how incredibly busy this intersection is. You can hear all the cars whizzing past me, so it makes very little sense that this building and this development behind me wasn't able to come back to life after the recession kind of ended and people started having access to money a little bit more. Usually, as I mentioned, when this happens, it means that there was some kind of major problem with the building, be it structural, electrical, or it was just deemed unusable. So now what you have is a giant plot of land on a corner that gets a lot of traffic that somebody would have to put money into, pay money to tear down, and pay money to redevelop. They're just not having it, considering there's so much usable space in this area, and so many of these little plaza businesses next door, places like Payless, have been going under and being taken over by storefronts like dollar stores, this kind of stuff lately. So that's it. Thanks for watching the video. If you like dead retail, retail developments, shopping, there's other videos on my channel for that. I'm Steve and I am not leaving Las Vegas. If you're just browsing through, happen to see this video, click the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you know when I do more videos, and be an honorary Las Vegan with me. Thanks for watching, sharing, and liking. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.